pretty much the simplest footwork skill we do in boxing, forwards and backwards. But with that skill, all beginners make mistakes with it, right? And there are 5 mistakes that are all beginners that make at least one of them. But in order for you not to have those mistakes and not to have those faults, you've got to be aware of them. That's what this video is going to do. You're going to get 5 mistakes that all beginners make with movements forwards and backwards, and you're going to get a little drill to correct that. Once you're aware of a problem, you can fix it. The key thing is, if you're just at the starting point, that's great. You can avoid them from the outset. If you're a little way along your boxing journey and you realise you're making these mistakes, you need to get them fixed, okay? And that's what this video will help you with. All right, movement forwards and backwards. Simple boxing stance. Lying on the floor from the toe to the heel, hands up, chin down, balls of the feet, body weight, ideally on the back leg. We can have it slightly central, but I like to see boxers have their weight on this rear leg, okay? Mistake number 1, this lying on the floor. When moving forwards and backwards, beginners will often do that, right? Now it's subtle, there, and before you know it, they're doing this. Now, what's the problem with this? We have an offset in boxing. The right foot, if you're an orthodox boxer, the right foot is slightly off to the right. This gives us the right balance of defence against lateral force and forwards and backwards. So if I'm in that position and I don't have a line on the floor going from the toe of my front foot to the heel on my back foot, I can still absorb quite a lot of, I've still got decent balance going back and forward. I've got terrible balance across there. I'm like walking a tightrope. So if any hooks come in and I block them, I'm still likely to go stumbling off. So when people move forwards and backwards, make sure that the line on the floor goes from the toe to the heel, and it always does. You can square it up a little bit more, but don't let it follow and don't let it come onto the same line. Mistake number 2, heel and toe as we move forward. This is really common. When I move forward, I want to be on the balls of my feet all the time. So if I'm going to move forward, I push off the back leg, front leg lifts, and we move forward. If I'm going to move backwards, we push off the front leg, back leg lifts, and we move backwards. Now, a lot of people say step forward, and that's, I think, a turn of phrase. If I step forward, number 1, I don't think I generate the speed. With boxing, we want to be in and out, fast, pendulum step type thing, phased attack, as it's always been called in Olympic style boxing. We're going to come on to that towards the end of the video. But do not, as you go forward, do not heel. Do not land on your heel first and then let the rest of the foot land. So you do that, you go. Okay, so you're stepping forward, but think about it. If I'm on the balls of my feet, I can defend myself, I can throw punches, I can move at all the times. If I'm, for any given part of a movement, my heel's up like that, I'm not effective, am I? I can't do anything. So every time your heel hits the ground, you are ineffective for that split second. And split seconds matter. So when you move forwards and backwards, ball of the foot, all right? Don't let the heel go together. Similar thing when we're moving forwards and backwards, the gap between the feet, right? So getting the gap between your feet, take a comfortable step, and that gives you about 8. You don't want it too narrow, right? Some people will widen it, especially up at close range, that's fine. And it can vary throughout a fight, but don't let it go too narrow. And this is especially true when people go forwards and backwards, they might do that first. So when we push forwards and backwards, widen and then return, widen and return. So push, push, don't narrow and then return, all right? The narrower the stance, the less overall stability you've got. It's a poor foundation for a boxing stance. Same is true, sometimes people do this when they come out. Yeah? You'll see people like throw a punch on the bag and then they'll step back and their front foot will do that, and this boxing stance is gone. Don't do it. Do not bring the feet together. Number 4, front foot. always must stay at 45 degrees to that line. When we move forwards, when we move backwards, right? Often, when people move out, the front foot will do that and it'll point towards the opponent. I've said this before, that's fine in other combat sports. In boxing, it's not. That front foot needs to stay at 45 degrees. The rear foot, I'm really relaxed about rear foot position. It can be parallel, it can be off, it can be fully L-shaped, it can even point back a little bit. That varies again in a fight, and some boxers have a personal preference. Front foot must be 45 degrees, and I'll tell you why. If the front foot's pointing straight towards the opponent, you are going to tend to overbalance that way. Especially if you throw a right hand and leave it out there, you'll feel yourself tilting off. If you have it at 45 degrees and you throw a right hand, you're just there. It locks you in position. So when you're moving forwards and backwards, keep the front foot at 45 degrees. Don't let that happen. Don't let the front foot point towards the opponent. And number 5, flat feet. Right? I prize mobility over. Flat feet will potentially give you a bit more power when you're throwing punches, right? But it just locks you down. I think, especially in short duration fights, mobility is king. So stay on the balls of their feet. Okay, there. Don't go, especially not on the back foot. I can relax a little bit on the front foot going flat, but that back foot needs to stay. The heel needs to stay off the ground. Right? So there's 5 mistakes. You need to be aware of those. How do we fix them? Simple line on the floor. Ideally put it in front of a mirror, a full length mirror. And just do simple movements forwards and backwards. Remember, we go forwards, we widen the stance and we narrow. We don't lose the line on the floor going from the toe to our heel. We don't heel and toe, so we don't let that heel go down. We don't bring the feet together, so we don't narrow and then widen. And we stay on the balls of the feet. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Be aware of the mistakes. Do that over and over again. That's just your simple in and out. And then you can evolve that. Once you're executing that simple movement forwards and backwards and you're avoiding all of those mistakes, you can move on to things like the phased attack or the pendulum step. So you can see that line that's going across. I want to move forward far enough so that my heel's on that line. So we're in and out. Okay, so from there we go, boom, boom. Yeah, in and out. And you can see none of those 5 mistakes are happening because I've gone through all that process of doing it slowly. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. By the time I come to do my phased attack practice or my pendulum step practice, in and out. And I can do that. Yeah? Nice and simple. Right? I've got a simple line on the floor. If you want something a bit more expansive, go download my book, The Beginner Boxer Toolkit. That'll really help you on your journey. Loads of stuff in there, 68 pages, packed full and thousands of downloads at that. I'll also give you a drill pattern that will give you this type of thing. It'll give you side steps, it'll give you pivots and all kinds of different stuff. All right? So there's a link down below and there should be a link popping up here. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What mistakes do you make? What things are you not seeing? What skill are you concerned about that you might have errors with? Drop me a comment, like and subscribe. For those who drop a comment, I will see if I can do my next video on that particular skill. Okay? Take it easy. I'll see you next time.